everybody, welcome back to Clues by Sam. It is Friday the 13th, and today we're gonna try something different. We're gonna play Clues by Sam without talking, just to see how fast I go, and then later, after I finish, maybe I'll try to explain my logic just to see if it is any different when I play without talking and while explaining my logic, which is usually what I do here on the channel. I play this game every day. If you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily logic puzzle game where there are 20 people on a board, each of which must either be a criminal or an innocent, and they might give you clues to help you figure out what they or other people are. And yeah, if you want to play as well, there is a link in the description if you haven't played today yet, because I know it's later in the day, so I'm trying to do this even faster and maybe get it all wrong. Watch me take me 40 minutes just to finish this because I'm trying to do that, but let's see how this goes, and if I can, I'll help you with any hard things that I find are difficult in this puzzle later. So let me start right now. Wow, 311. Oh my god. I thought I was taking so long. This is interesting. Very, very fun. Because usually I explain what I'm thinking and I try to do. So let me just go back and go over the clues. Who did we start with? Helen. There are exactly two innocents to the right of Wanda. So there were two people to the right of Wanda, Xavier and Zed, and both of them, of course, had to be innocents. And then we finished with Helen. Then Davey told us there are at least 2 instances above Steve, but that doesn't tell us that there is 2, even though there were 3 people. If at least is in the phrasing, then that means that all 3 of them might be criminals, might be innocent, sorry. So Zed told us that all instances above Xavier are connected, which meant that if there are at least 2, the only one who is connected to any of the other ones is Isaac, so we did Isaac in that case. Now Isaac told us that there is an odd number of instances above Xavier. If there were an odd number and these 3 were instance, that means that Nick had to be an instant. And if there were an odd number and yeah, because we know that all instances above Xavier are connected. If there were an odd number and only 2 of these 3 guys were instants, that meant that Nick had to be an instant to be connected to Steve to make an odd number. So Nick was the next instant. Now, me trying to remember the order it played in. Then we did Nick, and he said that only one of the 2 criminals neighboring Janet is in column D. So we knew that Janet needed a second criminal that was in column D. That had to be Ethan. So that made us figure out Steve and Ethan both and make Freya and Ollie opposites. Now, we figured that Ethan told us that exactly 2 of the 3 criminals neighboring Isaac are in row 1. So, we know that Isaac had to have a second criminal in row 1 besides Ethan. That's okay. Those 2 are opposites. What other clue did we get? Steve's. There are exactly 2 instances above Ruby. So this is where I got a little stumped, I think, because Ruby had an opposite pair above her as well. And instead of looking at the sort of triad we have here with Freya, Barb, and Ollie, we had to look at the fact that Isaac had an opposite pair here and an opposite pair here. So those were the 3 instances that Isaac would have total, which made us find out that Janet was an instance. So Janet now told us that only one column has exactly 4 instances, and we knew that that column was column C. So we could figure that column D couldn't have 4 instances as well, which made us find that Tina wasn't an instant. Now Tina told us that each row has at least 2 instances. So that may help me with row 1, because row 1 had only 1 instant so far, and it had to have Alex be the second instant in that row. Now Alex told us that only one person in row 2 has exactly 3 instants, so I made a whole thing to find who was the person with 3 instants. Who was it? It was Janet, because Janet had 5 people neighboring her and 2 criminals, so that means 3 instants, so nobody else could have 3 instants. Where did we go from there? There are more instances in column A than column D. Was it Gary? Now I'm lost. Only one person in row 2 has exactly 3 instant neighbors. So we knew, of course it wouldn't be Isaac. I guess it couldn't be Gary then, because Gary had 3 instants neighboring him too. So we made Lisa an instant. Was that it? And then Lisa said that only one person in row 2 has exactly 5 instant neighbors, and that we knew was Isaac, because Isaac has 3 criminals neighboring him with 8 neighbors. That means 5 instants. So Helen couldn't have 5, which made us figure out that Gary is her 6th instant. Gary told us that there are more instances in column A than column D. We know how many instances were in column D because there couldn't be 4. So since column C is the only column with columns with 4 instances, then column A couldn't have more than column D having 4. It had to have 5 to have both more than column D and not the same as column C. So with that, we figured out Uma, was it? And Uma told us that only one of the 2 criminals in column B is Martin's neighbor. Martin had 2 neighbors. One of them was Helen, who was already an instant, so Ruby had to be the criminal in that scenario. Ruby told us that only one person in row 1 has exactly 3 instant neighbors, and we knew who that was. because it couldn't be anybody besides Alex. So we made Barb and Ensign. And was it Barb? Yeah. And Barb told us that there maybe the weekend will choose for change. Wow. I didn't read that. I didn't read that at all. What did that help me with? Oh, it helped me with figure out the whole shebang for Barb, Freya, Martin, and Ollie. So it was really nice. I bet my explanation took longer than the puzzle, but I hope I could help you with understanding the paths I took. And I hope you have a very nice evening or weekend if it's already Saturday for you. I'll see you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam. Bye bye.